Welcome to Meet JMT, Insights from Within, a series that introduces our industry professionals and provides them the opportunity to share their professional experiences, personal reflections, and sources of inspiration as individuals working in the architecture, engineering, and construction sectors.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another Meet JMT podcast. My name is Jennifer, and I am your host and digital marketing manager here at JMT. Today, we have James Dodson joining us. He is a surveyor based in our Raleigh, North Carolina office. Thank you so much for joining us today, James. Would you mind telling our listeners just a little bit more about yourself and your role here at JMT?
Thanks, Jennifer. Glad to be here. I joined JMT just a few months ago after retiring from NCDOT. I worked for over 27 years in the same unit, location surveys. I now work out of the Raleigh office as a Senior Associate and Surveyor.
Well, thank you so much for that additional introduction. What were some of your inspirations when you were choosing your profession?
While in college at NC State University, I thought I'd work in construction or maintenance with NCDOT in my hometown in Sampson County, North Carolina. My dad worked in maintenance and roadside environmental. I was blessed to find route surveying, and thankfully I stuck with it. It brought me here today to my second career with JMT. I was fortunate to work in several offices in location surveys: Fayetteville, Raleigh, Wilson, as well as central positions: condemnation, consultant coordinator, and regional engineer.
It's great to hear how route surveying has opened the door to such a meaningful career for yourself, and we're lucky to have you on the JMT team. Are there any significant projects you've worked on that have really stood out to you, and how has that impacted you, JMT, or even the AEC industry as a whole?
I've had a couple of projects where we changed how it's always been done. Condemnation mapping underwent a significant improvement. For those not aware, condemnation refers to the government acquisition of private property for public use. The department drastically reduced the perceived preferences that had developed over the last 30 plus years between the Location Surveys Unit and the Attorney General's office. These preferences created some impressive condemnation mapping, but the time invested was too great when compared to the value add. Now, a completely separate project occurred early in my career regarding workflow and assignment tracking. An all-inclusive internet database was created that has survived for over 20 years.
Well, it's impressive that the project you contributed to early in your career continues to support the process more than 2 decades later. Outside of your day-to-day career, are there any hobbies or interests that you really feel have influenced your professional journey?
Yes, I'm a tribute artist, sometimes called a lookalike, for Sheriff Andy Taylor from the Andy Griffith Show. Now, public speaking has been a fear of mine, and it's considered one of the greatest fears for many people. Now, about 3 years ago, my wife and I discovered the Mayberry community. There are tens of thousands of fans that still love the Andy Griffith Show. It has never been off the air since it started in 1960. There are currently more than 25 tribute artists that go to festivals and interact with the fans alongside remaining cast members, children of cast members, and authors that are keeping the Mayberry spirit alive. The daughters of Andy Griffith and Don Knotts attend. The famous actor and director Ron Howard has not been yet, but his younger brother Clint Howard, who was in the show, has attended. We have tribute artists for Floyd, Otis, Barney. My wife is Nurse Mary. Let's see, there's Ernest T. Bass, Briscoe Darling, Charlene Darling, and several more. There are festivals in North Carolina, Indiana, Tennessee, Alabama. There's even a cruise ship that's on its 17th year. Well, I guess I should tell you how I got started. Our oldest son told me many years ago I looked like Andy. I had never heard that. A local Halloween contest, followed years later by a visit to Mount Airy, that's Andy's hometown, led to me wrestling with my introverted self and getting me up on stage to perform skits from the show. That in turn has helped me overcome that fear of public speaking. By the way, I call myself Andyish because no one can fill those shoes.
It's definitely not an easy leap to take, especially as an introvert, but it's awesome to hear how you've really embraced it and found a way to connect with so many people through something you love to do. I want to thank you so much for joining me on the Meet JMT podcast today. Before we leave, are there any closing thoughts or even words of wisdom that you would like to leave with your listeners?
In the Mayberry community, we talk about keeping the Mayberry spirit alive. Now that boils down to treating one another with respect. Also, we all know that life is short, so I'll encourage everyone to enjoy what you do. Find that work-life balance. And to paraphrase Andy, when he was talking to his son Opie, all you got to do is do a good day's work and act like somebody.
Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed the Meet JMT podcast today. Remember to subscribe, post a review, and of course, encourage your friends and colleagues to do the same.